All right, so Galaxy is the first runner to start in the prologue. So prologue, I mean, we've seen this countless times before in this tournament. Like, we just jump through these screens. We're saving frames with each jump. But yeah, it's really in like the first chapter where we're going to see all the speed tech being used, wall bounces, hyper dashes, all that jazz. We're going to assume, we're pretty deep in the tournament, so we're probably going to be skipping like, vanilla explanations of some of the stuff. So we're probably also just going to be like diving in, just trying to figure out like what these runners are doing differently, how one runner may be going faster, what issues another runner might be experiencing. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. All right, just a quick pause on Galaxy's side so that we're seeing coming into the first chapter. Yeah, so chapter one's pretty short, pretty sweet, pretty simple. There's not really a lot of opportunities for any major time loss. Like, you may see a second loss here or there just to like something mistimed. So really this chapter is just all about kind of getting you into the rhythm of the run. Like, you might see us like stacing for a long while, like we were for those first couple screens there. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Galaxy taking a quick death in this room with the extended hyper to just kind of like skip the block puzzle. Yeah, again, like that's only a couple seconds, so yeah, again, nothing really major there. Flarebear, meanwhile, just moving pretty confidently through these screens. Yeah, pretty mistake-free. I think there was like one minor bump, and that's the worst you can say about your time in City. That's still a pretty decent City. Yeah, they're going to be getting out of here with about a 1:11 on the clock, it looked like. So, yeah, solid job. Galaxy's not going to be far behind at all. Yeah, depending on how they handle this, it's probably going to be like about a 1:30. All right, so now we're tackling Old Side, second chapter again, another short chapter. But this time, near the end of the chapter, there's a couple long screens here, and that's going to be like the first opportunity for, some major time loss if a death happens to occur on either side. Yeah, Flarebear getting that tiny little glitch there. That's the only glitch that we're going to be seeing in the current patch run, and it's a glitch that it takes way more time to explain than is worth the time save. So, yeah, it's just like he moves in a certain way to like set his Y coordinate so that he spawns inside a dream block. It's weird. This game's underratedly weird, but yeah, he's through to the battle line chase sequence. Battle line, are following us around on a 3-second delay, mimicking our movements. Yeah, Flarebear not having any issues so far in these screens in Galaxy. I don't think I've really seen any mistakes from them. So yeah, really solid work from both of them so far. Oh, Flarebear missing the strat here. Yeah, they were trying to get a wall jump off that spike platform to bounce up into the top left corner there. Unfortunately missed it, but they were able to recover, able to improv while still avoiding battle line. So yeah, good work in that screen. All right, so on the last scene of the battle line chase here. So yeah, even at this point, that's going to be pretty costly. That could wreck the entire city just because then you have to go through this screen all over again. So every screen transition in this game is a checkpoint. So the further along you are into a room and you take a death, the worse it's going to be for your run, and that's definitely going to be something to watch out for in later stages. But Flarebear not having any real issues. We're going to see how Galaxy handles the last part of Old Site. Yeah, Flarebear in the Awake section. So one note about the speed tech in this game. So when you go through a screen transition, you retain your momentum and you refresh your dash. So a lot of this awake section is going to be like, and you also retain your speed. So coming out of screen tenders, and so like a lot of this awake section is just like trying to move pretty continuously, trying to get really free flowing movement, trying not to like run into any walls. Flarebear kind of running into a wall at the end there, but still doing really well. That was a really solid awake section. Like now we see Galaxy on the awake section. We'll see how they handle it. But yeah, like awake is a section where you can't really die, so you're just trying to keep as much speed as you can through this part of the chapter. Yeah, like this is something that like you maybe don't notice, like, you know, time loss in awake or something like that. You just like, kind of say, oh, that was kind of slow. You know, if you don't move efficiently through these screens, that can definitely like cost you a lot of time. But yeah, Galaxy not having any major stumbles in this section. So yeah, well done to them. They're out of old sight, going to be joining Flarebear in Celestial Resort. Yeah, so Celestial Resort is either your favorite chapter or it's your favorite chapter. You either really like this platforming through cycles, or you're just kind of over it already. There's really no in between with Resort. Yeah, again, it's just like, you know, moving quickly through these cycles, knowing where you are knowing like what you can do to go fast. Yeah, Flarebear just moving a little bit too fast, clipping that one Dust Bunny at the start there, but yeah. Recovers nicely onto the next screen. That's really what you have to do in this game. Like, you just have to recover from your own mistakes and just continue running the way that you know how. Yeah, so Flarebear handling the first part of Resort nicely. And like one minor thing that you may not notice a lot of runners doing, so on those moving platforms, if you hold down, you can make them fall a little bit faster, so that's why Flarebear was crouched there, if you were noticing, and like you may see that again on a Galaxy screen, just like, you know, saving time a little bit safely just by doing one minor thing. Yeah, Flarebear in the start of Huge Mess, navigating this maze really nicely. A lot of really cool movement in that section. Like, it's a lot of like well-timed hyperdash and wall bounces to just kind of like get through that little mazy portion as quickly as possible. Yeah, they're going to be starting a Huge Mess here, and yeah, we'll see how they handle it. Galaxy, yeah, having a pretty solid time through Resort themselves, looks like. But Flarebear taking a death to the spike jump here. So the spike jump is kind of like one of those, trying to think of the right term here, it's kind of deceptively simple. Like, it looks really intimidating having to jump up against those spikes, but like really you just have to imagine that the spikes aren't there at all when you're trying to execute it. Like, you're just trying to do a wall jump where there happens to be a spike. So yeah, it gets done on second try. We'll be moving on through to the second part of Huge Mess. Alright, meanwhile, Galaxy took a little bit of a stumble at the spike jump there, but got on second try. Yeah, they're out of the first section, so they're about one Huge Mess section behind right now, and that's a gap that can certainly be recovered if, like, Galaxy kind of know what they're doing at this point. But yeah, Flarebear in the lead here, getting through the last section of Huge Mess. And nice little wave dash here. Oh, takes a death here. So, one note about Celestial Resort. So there are two cycles to every room, the entrance cycle and the death cycle. So the entrance cycle is the cycle that the game gives you. Oh, taking another death in that room. So the entrance cycle is the cycle that you get when you enter the room, but the death cycle is something that you get, like, if you take a death in a room. You know, it's kind of self-explanatory there, but like the death cycle is oftentimes slower. Like in that room where Flarebear died. Yeah, so in that room where Flarebear died, instead of just being able to like sneak past that like moving Dust Bunny on the left side of the screen that we might see on Galaxy screen, they had to wait a cycle for that Dust Bunny. So we'll see how Galaxy does this screen here. Oh, it takes a death. So yeah, you saw in the first attempt they like just kind of snuck down below. Now they had to like do an extra little wall kick because otherwise they would just run into that Dust Bunny. So yeah, that's another way that like Resort can kind of sneak up on you. Because, like, it's not just time loss from dying, it's also time loss from having to sit through an additional cycle. But, yeah, as we're doing this, Flarebear has cleaned up the Huge Mess. They are moving on through the elevator shaft. Alright. Yeah, flarebear handling this portion of the level nicely. Galaxy, again, still not far behind at all in Resort, which is kind of cool to see. Yeah, so flarebear handling this like last long room of the main part of the chapter pretty well. Alright, so they're going to be moving on to the Oshiro fight. And again, Oshiro, we all know him, we all love him. He's going to be tracking our vertical position to give us a hug. We don't love him that much, so we're going to try to avoid him as much as we can. Alright, meanwhile, Galaxy in the quad hyper room took a death there, but yeah, got it on the second try, and then they take a retry once they get the key, because you keep a key after you die. The game is very generous to us in that way. But yeah, and it's faster to like take a retry there, to just take the intentional death rather than just like, you know, going the intended way, which is just sneaking up over the top. Yeah, meanwhile, Flarebear, because their audio's on, I have not heard the death noise from them at all in this part of the chapter, which is cool. Yeah, handling this section nicely. Meanwhile, Galaxy starting their Oshiro fight pretty clean through the first 3 screens. And Flarebear in this room with the rising sun in the background. Yeah, this is a very long room. This can definitely make and break your chapter, but Flarebear's out of it before I can even like go into detail about it. But yeah. Yeah, that's a 5:45 through Celestial Resort, which is a really solid time. You know, just a few deaths, but yes. Yeah, pretty quick. Yeah, just like a couple deaths like in that one huge mess section, but other than that, like a really solid run through. And Galaxy taking a death in this third to last tier screen, then lands on the spring there. Yeah, has to like take a little bit slow on that screen, because like if they tried to sneak through the screen there, they probably would have gotten hit by Oshiro. So yeah, good awareness on their part that they weren't going to get in and had to pull it back a little. Oh no! Yeah, Galaxy taking a death about halfway through that screen, and now they're going to be on the death cycle, which again, it's a little bit slower. And yeah, it's like now you have to deal with like the slow cycle and the like investment of time that you put into your first attempt at this level. So, barely sneaks under that moving dust bunny. Oh, but not quite so lucky on the last one. Yeah, just tried to rush it a little bit, kind of like feeling the pressure, just trying to get through this part of the screen. Yeah, it took a second there to like wait for the dust bunny to go. Yeah, a little bit safer that time, and they are out of Resort. Yeah, so they're going to be joining Flarebear in Golden Ridge. And Flarebear has been enjoying a pretty solid bridge so far, if I've been like listening to their sound correctly. So we'll see what auto-scroller skip Flarebear goes for. Yep, going for the standard version of the auto-scroller skip there. We just like use momentum of, or you just like do a quick hyper dash and use extended hyper dash and use the momentum of the dash block to kind of carry you a little bit farther. So yeah, really nice getting that on the first try. Yeah, Ridge is just like full of like really tiny, really difficult time saves, like, you know, that auto-scroller skip or that dash block or that like hyper dash on the cloud, or these two, or that wave dash and this reverse dash that he just did in this room. And like, if any of those went wrong, that would have been like, that could have been a considerable like time loss there. But Flarebear getting through those screens well, kind of took a death on this screen. Yeah, kind of having trouble like with the cloud hyper here, it looks like. Yeah, these clouds can be kind of finicky. Trying to hyper dash off these clouds can definitely be finicky. So yeah, gets through that screen, gets through that second auto scroller skip, and then we're on this auto-scroller room. No real way to skip this, so yeah, we just wait. Land on platform. We do what we can to speed it up by doing a hyper dash off that block. And doing well. Meanwhile, Galaxy trying to set up for the... Ooh, dies on that spike jump. Yeah. So going for this little auto-scroller skip, you can really only save 1 second if you get the spike jump on the first try. So if you like fail the spike jump anytime after that, you're kind of losing time and like getting it. And like even dying to that screen, like that's gonna set you back in considerable amount, and that's kind of what makes Ridge like such a beast of a level. Sometimes there's some skips that you feel you have to go for where they save, you know, a minor amount of time compared to what they cost. But you know, once you're like looking for the sub 40, that's what you kind of have to go for. And really good recognition from Galaxy, trying to go for auto scroller skip. Madeline lost her dash, don't know where dash was, and just had to go back. So yeah, again, really good awareness on that part. Alright, so Galaxy in this room as Flarebear taking on snowballs. In the last snowball room of the harsh wind section, you know, harsh wind, we have the wind forcing us back, so all we can do is like just hyper dash as much as we can through it. We get snowballs that can kind of ruin our day just coming in from the right side of the screen, but Yeah, flarebear doing really well in Ridge. Yeah, it has to go back into the bubble there, but yeah, now in the fun part of Ridge where we have the wind forcing us forward instead of backwards. Oh, barely jumps over the dash block there. Yeah, that never feels good when you just like completely Kobe that block, but yeah, they're out of Ridge. I think that was like a 340 on their screen. Alright, so Flarebear starting Mirror Temple as Galaxy, going for their own Cloud Hyper here. Yeah, again, just... Yeah, hit up instead of up right on the first attempt. Looked like Madeline didn't give him his dash back after that screen. Yeah, gets it on the third try. Yeah, Mirror Temple is just full of like really cool movement like that reverse hyper that Flarebear just did to save himself a trip to across a couple screens, grab a red bubble. Yeah, so the red bubbles and the green bubbles that are on Golden Ridge, so those are called dash bubbles. So the green bubbles just act as like a second bonus dash where you just jump in them and they just kind of shoot you out at the speed of a dash, and they also refresh your dash. Whereas red bubbles, they just kind of shoot you out and then they just go in one direction infinitely. Yeah, Flarebear getting through the Oh, I didn't quite see what happened to them. I think they may have like hit the spikes on top of that death intended skip unintentionally. Yeah, bad time to get a sip of water. Just like thought, oh yeah, we're safe here, and then all of a sudden I just hear. Psh. Yeah, that's minor mistake there. But again, recovering, getting through this long room with the spike cycles. Yeah, they're going to be moving on to the secret section as Galaxy out of the snowball section. Yeah, Ridge can just be one of those levels where, like, as soon as one thing goes wrong, the whole thing can just start to go horribly awry. So, yeah, Galaxy is going to be getting out of here, hopefully, on this screen. As Flarebear is going through the Seeker tutorial. Yeah, Seeker run into a wall there as Galaxy getting through the last screen. Yeah, that Seeker tutorial, that's like a weird part of the game where the game is just kind of teaching you what Seekers do, but it does that by giving you control of the Seekers. And it's the only part of the game where like you have to control a Seeker, and can definitely feel a little bit weird because you're not really practicing that part of the game that often, like pretty much just when you're doing runs. So yeah, it can definitely be hard to like move the Seeker efficiently. Yeah, Flarebear, it's really on one screen, and you know, we're getting through the actual Seeker section. Yeah, so Seekers just kind of lock onto us and they charge at us. Yeah, having a little bit of trouble. Having to do a little bit of improv here. I think they originally wanted that Seeker to like hit the key coin on the top, but the Seeker just didn't want to cooperate there, so they had to do like a lot of improv just to like get that coin hit. Yeah, after that, Flarebear doing pretty well with the temple here as Galaxy, yeah, sending across. Oh, barely misses. Yeah, has to take the dash platform boost to get to the top of this screen, but yeah. Yeah, getting through pretty solidly. Alright, so Flarebear coming up on Surge Skip, one of the most important skips in the run. Gets it first try. Very nice. Oh, even wanted to look at it again for good measure. Yeah, so Flarebear is going to be coming up on this secret tutorial at about the same time that Galaxy is going to... Flarebear is coming up on this Theo rescue section while Galaxy's in the secret tutorial. Yeah, so the Theo section is definitely like one of the weird parts of this game where like trying to think of the right way to explain this. You would think I would know by now. So yeah, Theo, basically we have to use all of our buttons in conjunction. We have to be holding grab to hold Theo, and we have to be like jumping and dashing. So we cannot dash while we're holding Theo. So we just have to be we just have to like throw Theo, hyper dash, and then catch him in mid-air if we want to be moving quickly throughout these screens. And we also have these seekers in our way that can kind of wreck our day. Oh, flarebear. Yeah, that there might ultimately be a time save with just how much went wrong. Throwing Theo to the left, having to interact with that Seeker, yeah, probably just a good idea to just reset the room and, yeah, get through it no problem on the second attempt. Alright, so Flare in the last room of Rescue, while Galaxi's in the last room of Unraveling. Yeah, Galaxy, having to dance around the Seeker a little bit, but gets through it nicely. Flarebear leaving Theo behind for a second. Again, you have to escort Theo to the end of the screens to make it through these levels. Madeline can't go it alone here. Yeah, really nice movement here. So timing their dashes so that they're moving forward when the pulsating waves from the eyeball shoots at them. Yeah, Galaxy getting search kick first try. Yeah, at the end of this level, you have an eyeball shooting waves at you for reasons, and you know, if you dash through the waves, you kind of counteract the effect of the waves. Otherwise, your movement just completely stops. So really stop movement from Flarebear on that screen. And they'll be coming into Reflection as Galaxy is a couple screens away from Rescue. Yeah, so this screen here is introducing us to feathers, and feathers are weird. We got Lake Skip coming. Yeah, it takes 1 death to Lake Skip. Yeah, this is like an absurdly precise wall bounce that Flarebear is going for here. Yeah, it's like a 4-pixel window, but it saves 4 seconds if you get it first try. Yeah, sticking to their guns. Okay, gets it on the 4th try, I think it was. So yeah, worth it for the practice, but like ultimately, if that happened to you like in a attempt, you might be unhappy with that. But yeah, Flarebear moving through with the feathers. So Madeline typically only has like 8 directional movement, but with the feathers, we get full 360-degree range of movement. So now we have to adjust to like moving through the level in a new way. And while we're adjusting to that, we also have these spikes that we have to avoid. So these spikes can be annoying because like if you're even like just a few degrees off with your movement, you're gonna fly just right into the spikes, and it's gonna feel really bad. So yeah, Reflection is just like one of those levels in like one of those games really where like there's no like one big mistake that you can make that's gonna cost you several seconds. There's just like it's like a death by 1,000 cuts that can happen to you here. Galaxy getting out of mirror tempo with a 522, which is a really good time. Yeah. Yeah, made up of... Didn't quite see Flarebear's time, but yeah, they may have made up a fair amount of ground with that time mirror tempo. I think they're about like 1 reflection checkpoint behind at this point. Flarebear navigating the maze, and when we say navigating the maze, we mean taking the route that most people are going to be taking through this section. Alright, Flarebear, so you also can keep feathers through screen transitions, just like, your momentum. So yeah, there's a tiny little skip you can do there where you can like avoid having to like hit 1 dash crystal there and kind of save a small amount of time. But Flarebear taking a death at the end of the screen has to go through it the vanilla way. Yeah, getting that nice little skip on the Kevin block where they just sneak right on top under some spikes with a nice little crouch dash. Yeah, this is just like what Reflection is. It's a lot of feathers, a lot of spikes, a lot of deaths, and can just feel super painful as Galaxy. Yeah, getting this nice little skip for the with the neutral wall jumps. Okay, so now we have Flare sneaking through with this 7-10 shortcut and like... Yeah, it gets that shortcut on the first try, which is cool to see. Yeah, that can definitely be like a pretty major time loss. Oh, taking a death to the in the swimming section here. So this is the only swimming section in this game, and as such, it's probably not something that you're ever really going to practice that much unless you're like doing attempts. So again, it's like just changing the way that you move, and you know, just kind of like getting, and just like, you know, having to adjust on the fly. Sometimes you'll just take a death from like, you know, maybe just missing a movement here or there. So yeah, swimming section can also be kind of underrated. Goes for battle line boost, but clips that corner at the end there. So it doesn't get the full boost. Still got a lot of speed coming out of that transition. Yeah, now we're in the battle line fight, which has like obviously the most iconic song in the run here. Yeah, battle line, we just knock ourselves into her. Like it's a boss fight where instead of just like, you know, bopping her on the head, waiting for cycles, we bop her on the head, go through some really fun platforming and bop her on the head just again and again and again. Yeah, and like the main thing that we can do to speed this up, because like obviously like main strat here is don't die, but we are trying to get to the ground as fast as possible here, to just because like all the movement tech that we do is based on our interaction. When we get to the ground, the faster we can continue moving. Yeah, flarebear taking it a little bit safe on that screen. Didn't quite have the correct cycle there, so just like waited for the orbs to fire out. Yeah, so battle line has two main attacks, the laser that she fires and the orbs. So lasers, they kind of give you some warning of where they're going to be. They'll just like, yeah, like we'll get that one indication, and then she'll fire off a laser that's like a little bit larger than the warning indicates. And the orbs, those are just orbs. If you hit them, you die. Though orbs don't actually have a hitbox until they leave battle line's hands. So yeah, you may see at some point where like a runner will knock into battle line while like she's preparing an orb, but yeah, that's just completely fine. We just have to trust that we're on the right cycle for that, and that we're going to be hitting her before the orb's hitbox is going to be created. So we got Galaxy coming up on the on this like last Kevin block here. We'll see if they go for battle line boost. It doesn't look like they're quite set up for that. Yeah, again, still a lot of fast movement though. Oh, just yeah, it takes a dime to the spikes there, just like a minor, tiny little mistake. Again, like that's not a huge time loss. It's just gonna be like, I can't believe I did that. Alright, so Flarebear in the Battle Line Remix section. Yeah, again, like now, in addition to the orbs and lasers, now we have these moving platforms, though Flarebear, not even like... Yeah, Flarebear moving really nicely through this section here so far. Like, it's a nice little dash jump to kind of sneak under that crystal so that they can get to that platform in time to get a boost so they can hit Battle Line on that screen as fast as possible. Yeah, so now we're onto the two pretty long screens. So one thing that we can do to like speed up these screens is fast fall. Ooh, Flarebear taking a death at the middle of the screen. So, but we are going to see fast falling on Flarebear's side again. So when you're falling, you can hold down to make Battle Line fall just a little bit faster. And yeah, just like being confident, like that you know where you're going, that you know the geography of these screens can also be like a pretty significant time save, like over the course of a full run, because you know, like if you're moving as fast as you can, that's what you want to be doing. Oh, misses the feather there, so it takes another death at the end, or not the end, but like the middle of the end of the Battle Line fight. That made sense in my head. Oh, misses the feather again. Yeah, going right when they're trying to go upright. Just, yeah, minor missed inputs. And I can't remember if Flarebear like got a new controller, if they're still running on keyboard, but yeah. So a lot of runners will switch, if they have a controller with both a D-pad and an analog stick, they will switch from D-pad to analog for the feather section, simply because like with the analog stick, you get you can have full range of control over Madeline in the feather sections. So yeah, it may just be that like they were controlling the feather with the analog stick, and like they didn't find it worth it, and they were trying to control like Madeline's dash with the stick too, and just like minor misclicks with the stick there. So yeah, not great to die in that part of the level, but yeah, they're out of reflection. Yeah, so 27-24 on the clock for them heading into Summit. So yeah, still ahead, but door's not entirely closed on Galaxy here, because Summit is the longest level of the game. It's the hardest level in the game. Lots of opportunities for Galaxy to come back, though taking a death at the end of the screen, yeah. Yeah, having to like go through the entire part of that screen, like again, that's definitely going to be like a pretty significant time loss, especially coming up with the late game here. So yeah, we'll see how Galaxy recovers from that. Looks like they're getting through this part of the fight pretty well here. Yeah, opting not to fast fall, which is, you know, again, like fast falling is only going to be like a minor time save, and like if you don't trust that you're not going to hit the spikes, that you're going to be able to like move out of the way while you're falling fast, that's definitely something where like you don't necessarily have to go for it to get the time that Galaxy might be going for. Oh, okay, barely nicks that spring there, but they are out of the battle line fight. Yeah, so flarebear with a 27-34. Looks like Galaxy is going to be a little under a minute and a half behind going into Summit here on the in-game timers. Alright, so meanwhile, flarebear, as Galaxy is going through the last cutscene of flarebear onto the Forsaken City remix. So yeah, Summit, before we like get to the top of the mountain, we have to reclimb the mountain. So we're revisiting all the levels in the game, you know, starting with the Reflection remake, because Reflection's at the bottom of the mountain. Yeah, the first 3 sections of Summit are pretty straightforward. Not really a lot of like major places to die, just like in the single dash versions of the levels. Yeah, flarebear onto the old site remix as Galaxy going through the Reflection remix. Okay, flarebear, kind of a minor flub there, not dashing like diagonally, but yeah, was able to save that, which is cool to see. Yeah, flarebear getting through 500 without much problems, flirting with the death plane there to kind of speed things up. Yeah, into the battle line orb section, where we're just trying to like catch these battle line orbs as fast as we can so that she can toss us up to the next part of the game. But yeah, 1500 with which flarebear is coming up on, that can definitely be an opportunity for things to go really wrong here, because we got a couple super long rooms where, you know, if the slightest thing goes wrong, it's gonna be pretty significant for Flare here. But yeah, getting through the first few screens pretty well. Ooh, takes a death on this screen. Yeah, opts to go back. So yeah, they didn't want to deal with a death cycle for that room at all. They just said, okay, I only know entrance cycle. I'm gonna reset so I can get the entrance cycle. So yeah, opting to like take that minor time loss, and yeah, playing this screen a little bit safe here, and not entirely trusting that they were going to be able to fall in time to like avoid that last dust bunny. All right. Now on what's sometimes called the triple ultra room, depending on what strat you go for. Just 2 ultras a day from Flare, but yeah, still gets through that really well. So yeah, hard part of 1500 is over. Yeah, couple... And again, like, yeah, it took a couple deaths there, realized that they weren't that familiar with the death cycle, so Auden go back, reset for entrance cycle. But yeah, again, like, you know, even though they didn't take any major deaths, the minor deaths are kind of going to add up here, so... Yeah, we'll see how Galaxy handles 1500, because they could conceivably catch up here with a strong enough game here. Oh, Flare taking a death on the catch sequence. Yeah, didn't quite... Yeah, probably not the 1500 they wanted, but yeah, they're out. They still have their lead. And onto the Ridge remix, which, Okay, yeah, they're trying to sneak up with the vertical wall bounce onto this secret screen with the strawberry. Didn't quite get the wall bounce on first try here. Yeah, getting through that sneaky little path. We'll see how they handle snowballs. Ooh, yeah, hypers right into the ground there. Yeah, so now we're on death cycle with snowballs here, and like, okay, gets through on the second try. Oh, and fails this auto scroller skip. Yeah, they're trying to get like a hyper dash off this block. You know, dash twice to like just barely grab this like last moving platform here. I don't think they barely got it. Yeah. All right, going for the last vertical wall bounce. Okay, gets the auto scroller skip on the second try here. And meanwhile, Galaxy. Oh, taking a death in the ultra room here. Yeah, well, they're not really going for ultras, but yeah, having to play it a little bit safe. Okay, they are out of there. Yeah, so maybe not making up quite as much ground as it potentially could have, and like nicking the top part of the screen in the dog room here, but yeah, again, 1500, as long as you get out of there, you're kind of feeling good about yourself, so. Yeah, Galaxy's about one section of some behind here. They're both going. Yeah, we're gonna have a like nice sync cutscenes here. Well, kind of sync, but yeah. Okay, Flare onto 25. Ooh, clips that corner. Yeah, the corners in this game are weird. Sometimes you get a boost, sometimes you get a bop. It's really hard to tell what is going to happen to you when you try to run into a corner, but yeah, flarebear gets to the opening screen on the second attempt here. Get the double wave dash room, really nicely done. Yeah, 2500 is just full. Ooh, takes a death going for the key skip here. Yeah, it's called key skip, even though we're not necessarily skipping the key, we're actually grabbing it. Just realize how weird that name is. Anyway, so yeah, 2500 just like full of really cool skips, really cool movement. Yeah, there's definitely an opportunity for things to go wrong in some points. And, you know, we're also coming up on the coolest round of the game here, threading the needle. Flarebear taking a death on the first attempt, gets the second try. Alright, Flarebear gets door skip first try, saving that second, well done. Okay, Galaxy went for a wall bounce there, and yeah, kind of sketchy there, but yeah, gets through it okay. Yeah, and we're both, again, we're on the battle line cutscenes here. Yeah, spikes leading up to the key skip, that rolls off the tongue. So Flarebear, yeah, gets through the last room of Mirror Temple where, you know, if you have a misinput there, things can go wrong. So starting 3000 with a 34:45 on the clock about. Yeah, so at this point, Galaxy on the first couple screens with a 3513 on their in-game timer, it's gonna take like either a kind of a collapse on Flarebear's part or just a heroic effort from Galaxy to kind of catch up here. But again, like either of those things could happen. So yeah, we'll just stay tuned here. Though, yeah, Galaxy not quite having the 2500 they want, it looks like. Yeah, Flarebear not having the downdraft section they want. So yeah, downdraft. We're just trying to like, yeah, we have the gravity forcing us down here. So we're trying to like do as many like, you know, wall bounces and hyper dashes as we can so that we're still moving fast and counteracting the effects of the increased gravity. Yeah, taking a couple deaths in like the, that one flag there. Oh, what? Okay, so you can stand there. Fun fact. All right, game. Yeah, sure. Looked like Flarebear was just as surprised as I was that that could happen, but yeah, that was a pretty decent save. All right. So yeah, Flarebear getting out of downdraft, moving on to updraft is Galaxy in the last room of 2500. I still can't believe that. Wow, look at, how about that? Yeah, so updraft, as the name implies, pretty floaty. There's not really any way to like speed these sections up aside from just like fast falling and all that. So yeah, doing this like nice little skip here to like keep both of their dashes and just like get through that screen just a little bit faster than possible. Yeah, now we're up on flags 14 and 13, and these two flags can just be absolute run killers. As we... Oh, did we save it? Oh my goodness. Flarebear. Yeah, you take that death there. That was like karmic payback for just the incredible save there. Just like all those neutral wall jumps, and like that's like kind of one of the saving graces of the updraft section. Like because this level is so floaty, neutral wall jumps are kind of OP. So yeah, that was just really solid work. Like having just barely enough stamina to like get by there. Just really well done with that save. Alright, and it's nice thing that flarebear took the extra couple pixels to like activate the flag 10 checkpoint, because if that death there had occurred and they hadn't grabbed the flag 10 checkpoint, they would have been sent all the way back to flag 11, had to do that section over again. Yeah, here in this chapter, or this section of the chapter, checkpoints are no longer marked by screen transition, they're marked by the checkpoint flags that we have. So yeah, we get all these like mid-screen checkpoints as Galaxy starting their own updraft adventure. It looks like they had a pretty decent downdraft. Yeah, may not be enough at this point as flarebear is on to the final 5 flags of the game. Yeah, it would take something pretty significant to happen here for flarebear to lose this lead, so... Again, all credit to Galaxy for keeping it pretty close all throughout, but yeah, just couldn't quite get it on this day. Okay, so flarebear skipping flag 3, and yeah, so if he dies on flag 2 here, that oh no! Yeah, so has to do flag 3 over again, and yeah, you could see like a tiny little frustration hop, and ooh, taking in death on flag 3 here, kind of like bouncing on the frustration spring a little bit. Galaxy has to wait for this cloud platform to respawn. Ooh, messes up the dash again. A lot of Celeste is happening right now. Okay, flarebear making sure to grab flag 2. Yeah, does not want to take any chances, because yeah, Galaxy, you know, hot on their trail on flag 6. Yeah, still going to be a pretty close match here. Yeah, flarebear on flag 1, kind of that pit. Flag 1 death's not uncommon. Yeah, flarebear is going to close it out after a memorable 3,000 meters, and yeah, 39-23 even. Okay. I don't think I've seen triple zeros in the millisecond part before. Yeah, Galaxy on flag 2 here, just needs to avoid a major misstep. Yeah, on flag 1 here. Yeah, 40-14 it looked like for them. So yeah, really solid, really respectable effort from Galaxy. Kept it pretty close, but yeah, they are going to be moving down to the lower bracket with that time. But yeah, GG to Galaxy, GG to flarebear. Really entertaining race. Really solid work from both runners. Yeah, thanks for that, y'all. Yeah, so as always, both runners are welcome to join me in the room for an interview. But yeah, we'll again go through the bracket. So just had that. So yeah, flarebear moving on through the upper bracket, going to be taking on Problems Troll in the next round. And we got Galaxy. Oh yeah, Galaxy is taking on Lori D. Bunnykins over in the lower bracket. So yeah, we got 2 more races. So both racers have like another race waiting for them. So yeah, going to be fun to see how they perform next round. Flare going up against one of the best in the business, and Galaxy fighting for their lives. And we are joined by Flarebear in the room. How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
So that was a very 3,000 meters that you had there.
Yeah, especially with the stupid flag 2 skip that I like to go for. That probably lost like 40 seconds, so like something crazy like that on its own. Just because I went for something silly and risky, and then died.
Yeah, and like that was a death like right before we were gonna hit flag 1. So yeah, but more so like that. I did not know that you could stand there in that one spike section in downdraft.
That was weird. Yeah. I like crouched a little bit, like try to show off, like, hey, what the heck is this? Like whenever it happened, because I was confused as well. But that was quite the save. That was pretty silly.
Yeah, that you had that save. You had that other save on flag 13. There was just like a lot of fluff that happened to you.
Yeah. I definitely could be more warmed up than I am now. I've been like so busy with Het compared to this game. I've really been prioritizing it, so I haven't like had much time to put into this one. Like 52 deaths. It was a little rough, but it wasn't that bad. I did a practice race immediately before this, and got 10 minutes off my PB. So obviously, if I did that again, it would have been rough. So thankfully, I did that practice race right before I came here. But yeah.
No, that definitely worked out for you there. Yeah, so I think you're facing Problem Troll in the next round. So do you know that opponent? How do you feel about your chances in that round?
I don't have a chance, so I'll just focus on seeing who I have in loser's bracket. I'm sure I'll be playing someone else in loser's bracket who's close to my PB time, because it would have to be some kind of crazy upset for me to beat Problem. And also, like I said, I'm not playing near my best right now. So yeah, it's not super likely for my next round, but I'll try to show off some cool stuff, I guess. Make good use of it.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it, and like always appreciate the honest assessment. So yeah, GTU, congrats on the victory, and yeah, thank you for the race. All right, so I don't know if Galaxy is in the chat or if they are watching the stream at all, but they are welcome to join us for an interview. We're going to give them a few seconds to come in. Meanwhile, I will go through what we got left on the schedule for today. So 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we got King Captain versus Sonic Blaster. I should probably... Forgot I had it marked Galaxy is done. So yeah, 8 o'clock p.m. we got King Captain 27, Sonic 33 Blaster, and I believe that's going to be the first match of our lower brackets. So yeah, that's going to be pretty intense. That's going to be our first elimination race happening. And at 10 o'clock p.m., we got another first round race for you, Sneaky versus Tagerson. And yeah, we got more Celeste races coming for you all this week. Runners are obviously getting set up in the upper and lower brackets, so we're going to start seeing more matches scheduled. So just keep an eye on !! Celeste, and also, make sure you're following Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 through 6 to, catch all the latest happenings. Make sure you're following the runners who both worked very hard to bring you this race today. And yeah. So I have not yet seen Galaxy, so yeah, I think that may do it for us here today. So again, thank you to everyone who came out and watched. I have been Artie Walsh Reed. This has been Celeste, and we will see you on the next race. Thank y'all.